Fulshire Harja go Park Lewis Ardwaha on Clicker Shaw idir Nave Potter Cullyhanna agus Ballymacnab and second half just underway now. Niall and Cullyhanna need a good start because they are in serious trouble here in the athletic grounds.
They are, and I'm not surprised to see that Eugene Casey's come in for the team now in the second half. Eugene's just back from suspension, and well, that's a wide from Cullyhanna from the first attack. Eugene will hopefully add something to their attack. They'll be hoping. He's done a lot of work in the gym over the last 6 months, and he's turned into a really strong player, but he needs a big half here, and every Cullyhanna man does if they're going to have to bring this margin down.
Yeah, he almost made an immediate impact there, Eugene, when introduced. He's been having a superb league campaign. You know, one of Cullyhanna's chief scoring threats, I suppose, as he always has been probably throughout his career over the past decade, but missed a few games there over the last couple of months. But he's back, and he'll be hoping to make a contribution here. And these are desperate times for Cullyhanna as Aidan Nugent chases after that one. Aidan is able to manage to regain possession for Cullyhanna. That's been pumped in there towards Malachy Mackin. He's in the square. Can Malachy do something? It's been transferred to Tasker. Tasker's beaten one, and I think Tasker was perhaps going for a goal there, but it's gone over the bar. He was in a very similar position. I'm not sure if you saw a goal that he scored in the under 21 final earlier this year against Armagh Harps, became something of a YouTube sensation. And I think he was perhaps trying to attempt something similar there. But importantly for Cullyhanna, he's got the ball over the bar. That's the score, and they're back within 6, and the lead's a little more manageable now.
For criticism of Rory's final pass, and that's his 4th point and his 3rd from play, like, so you know you can't argue with them sort of stats, but they need to get him on the ball more and probably closer to goal, because his mistakes have been coming when he's been further out the pitch.
That ball's been chipped over, and Kieran McKeever's in a bit of space here. Can he put 5 between the teams? McKeever's had an effort at a goal, and that's flashed wide. It's flashed wide. I think it went through actually a defender's legs. Arguably, I really think that Kieran should have maybe just tapped that over the bar, you know, to get those couple of points at the start of the second half and a great boost to Cullyhanna. I'm not sure the goal was really on there now.
No, it was ambitious. If he had to tuck the point, it would have been back to 5 points. Probably should have just fisted that over, took it on another 5 yards and fisted it over. That's the thing when you're 6 points down. Maybe your decision making gets a bit flustered when you think you need a goal, but there's plenty of time to kick those.
Lots and lots of time, certainly. It's been a very open game. I know Cullyhanna haven't got a goal yet, but you suspect that they may be able to create a couple of opportunities.
Yeah, well, you know, they're so close to creating real, genuine goal. That's 3 kickouts in a row they've won the break ball on.
Yeah, Aidan Nugent's been very effective in the early stages here. Robbie Tasker's over there. He's over the terrace side. He's played the ball right across the pitch. That's to Kieran McKeever. Will Kieran go for a point here? He's found, and I think that's Liam O'Hare. Liam O'Hare's had an effort. I think that has hit the post. It's dropped down, and it hasn't been. Also, this could be the opportunity. Is it going to be a penalty? Is there a foul here? The ball's been broken loose, and the referee hasn't given a foul, and the ball's been taken away by Ballymacnab, and so the width of a post away there, Cullyhanna were from getting a point. The ball could have bounced in their favour, but now the ball's in midfield. It's broken, and here's Sean Connell. Sean Connell has it. He's driving forward. The young player's driving forward. Sean Connell. He's had an effort. I think that's maybe hit off the back of one of his own players, but Mackin goes for it, and the breaking ball has gone as far as Ballymacnab. Cullyhanna having a good start here now, but they're not getting the points on the board.
Cullyhanna have dominated the second half, yet they're only a point closer. They've had 2 wides and hit the post. They really would have liked to got 2 or 3 points out of this return, but Ballymacnab, I wouldn't say survived, but they're still 6 points intact despite having nothing in the first 5 minutes of the second half. And Cullyhanna are tackling like demons here. It's a different Cullyhanna side.
Yeah, they were so flat really in the first half. You know, it must have been disappointing for the Cullyhanna natives, but they've come out here with a real bit of life about them. But Ballymacnab are looking to put that life to death as Michael Beggan plays the ball over there towards one of the danger men, Rory Grugan. And Grugan again, he charges down the line. Mickey Murray tries to get a hold of him, and Grugan's played the ball across towards McKee, the full forward. McKee hasn't been able to get a hold of that. There's goalkeeper Conor O'Neill. He's played to Gary McCooey. Gary McCooey plays the ball out, and Cullyhanna look to build here in the athletic grounds. And what an exciting start of the second half we've had. That ball's been pumped towards Liam O'Hare. Liam O'Hare hit the post in the opening stages. Was he fouled there? No, the referee decides not. But that's the struggle. O'Hare and Nugent. Can Nugent get it? And Nugent went to the ground, but the referee decided no free, and that's been booted clear. And Stephen Reid will be after that, but we'll go out for a sideline, and we have a chance to draw a breath here. No, in fact we don't, because Stephen Reid's played the ball directly to Gary McCooey. Gary McCooey's in a more advanced role. He's booted that ball towards. That's a poor ball. It's gone into the goalkeeper's hands. Didn't have the direction. Decent idea, didn't have the direction. And really it's the final pass tonight, Niall, that's proven to be Cullyhanna's downfall. But here's Kieran McKeever. McKeever has it. He's played it into Tasker. Tasker towards the corner. He's surrounded. and he's played it, and that is an absolutely magnificent point from Robbie Tasker outside of the right foot. He showed on his trademark brilliance there now to kick that ball over the bar.
That's fantastic. It's fourth from play, you know. It's that's just a beautiful, beautiful score. It's his 12th point of the championship this season, and he's really, they've pushed him forward now a bit more further forward, and he's having a big impact. Cullyhanna needed that because they had 5 attacks there, 1 point, 1 hit the post, 1 drop short and 2 wides. They really needed that in their 6th attack of the half. They've cut the gap to 5 points, and if they hadn't got something out of that, they would have had so much possession, not in return, and heads would have dropped, you would have thought. But Ballymacnab haven't played anything in the second half at all.
There's Sean Hughes kicked the ball out. I suppose every team's going to have a little period in every match, and this is Cullyhanna's period. But Ballymacnab are looking to quell the tide. There, James Gray has played it off to Gribben there. Patrick Gribben. He's played it to Tony McKee, and Tony McKee's kicked the ball over the bar, and that was a fine point. Very important score that for Ballymacnab.
McKee is second point of the night from midfield, and for the second match in succession, as I keep mentioning, he's having a brilliant outing, an absolutely brilliant outing, and that's an important score. It's their first meaningful attack of the half and got the point, whereas Cullyhanna have had 6 and managed 2, so you can see already that, you know, Ballymacnab have been much more efficient in this match.
Yeah, there's a loose ball there on the pitch as Conor goes kick the ball out. Niall Haughey, and he's watching tonight in Derry McCash, and he's looking forward to St Enda's Ulster Junior Championship semi-final tomorrow as Conor kicks that ball out. Barry McConville, he rose for that, but he can only get one hand to it, and he's topped it down to a Ballymacnab player, and that ball is still now, it's with Chris Loughran. Chris Loughran has played the ball across to Kennedy. Ryan Kennedy here, he goes forward. He got a couple of points early in the first half. He's had another goal, and that is dropping short, and that's going to Conor O'Neill. Conor O'Neill's played it out, and here's Kieran McCooey. Kieran McCooey's got quite a bit of space in front of him here in the green pastures of the athletic grounds, and McCooey's played that ball. That's a good ball. I think O'Hare will be able to keep that one in. He's heading down towards the corner. O'Hare gets it. Can he get inside his marker? It's Liam O'Hare, and surely he's been brought to the ground. Yes, he has. The referee Kevin Murphy agrees, and this is an opportunity for Cullyhanna on how badly they need these scores in the early stages of this second half here in the Team at Armagh Senior Championship semi-final. We've played 7 minutes, and Cullyhanna really need to peg this game. They need to get back within 3 or 4 fairly soon now.
Yeah, well, Sean Hughes has decided midway through the first half to push Chris Loughran up and Kieran McKeever, and it's really working a treat because Kieran hasn't had much of an impact in this game at all. He's just maybe not the impact he would have had against Whitecross and against Sarsfield, so the Loughran tactical move seems to be working so far. Kieran McKeever, he looks hungry in the second half though, but they really need a score from this free.
Yes, and there's just an injury down at the moment. It's Liam O'Hare over there. Patrick Burns from Forkhill, he's impressed with Jack Grugan's first half performance, and I think probably everybody who's been watching the game on Armagh TV and indeed who attended here tonight would be. And Ebby Toll says great coverage, and says that Cullyhanna looked flat and Ballymacnab a great work rate. I think Ebby also queried on Twitter there who the pen clicker was, and I have to be honest, actually I thought that it was myself. I actually note that my co-commentator is also at it, so I think now that's a timely lesson to the pair of us to cut that sort of thing out in the second half. But more importantly than clicking pens is this Cullyhanna free kick, as they hope to click back into action here in the second half, and that's an effort from Tasker, and that's dropped wide. Can Mackin keep it in? No, he can't, and that's gone wide. And really, Niall, you feel at this stage that Cullyhanna have to take all the opportunities that present themselves.
Well, yeah, that's 3 wides in 8.5 minutes in the second half, and when you're trying to haul back a significant deficit, every miss is sort of a punch in the gut. But they've started well. They've definitely been the better side in the second half, and still 21 minutes left here.
Of course, Kieran Huey and Rory O'Neill there watching the game out in Melbourne. Kieran, of course, would have been involved last year in the semi-final against Pearse Oaks. Rory was the captain of the Cullyhanna under-21 team this year against Armagh. How those two players would love to be out here tonight, and I suppose really the way things going, perhaps Jody Gormley would like to call on them, but the Cullyhanna have to make do with the players that are available. One of those is Kieran McKeever. He's played it towards his erstwhile county colleague Mal Mackin. Malachy has the ball over in the corner. Mal's still going. He's being held up there. Mal goes back and looks an opportunity, and it's been saved there, and the ball's been played towards goal. It's bouncing about here, and it's a 45. It's a 45. Yes, and one or two of the supporters got overexcited. The ball hit the side, and then it's been a 45. But again, Niall, were Cullyhanna guilty of going for goals when really the more sensible opportunity would have been to fist the ball over the bar?
I think maybe, I don't think I could blame Malachy too much there. He's going for his second goal in as many games in the championship, and it opened up well for him, but it was a comfortable enough save from Hughes in the end. It was a good height from him, and you are correct. If he had a fist over and McKeever had done the same, you know, there would have been Well, a lot closer, but they do have a 45 here.
Well, almost it's easy to say now that, hindsight vision, it's always absolutely perfect, and had it gone into the net, he'd been a great fella. Robbie Tasker's played that one wide, and really that's 3 or 4 wides in the early stage from Cullyhanna.
That's 4 wides already.
4 wides in 10 minutes, and really Cullyhanna haven't been able to get much closer. They've only a lot of dominance in the early stage of the second half, with only 1 point closer than they were at half time. It's 2-9 to Ballymacnab, it's 9 points to St Patrick's Cullyhanna. Get the comments in, folks, on Twitter at Armagh_GAA, the Armagh Facebook page, Armagh-gaa on Facebook. And let us know where you're watching the match from. What do you think you'll do? Do you see an opportunity for Cullyhanna to come back, or will Ballymacnab's lead be enough as Pierce Casey rises for that? But here comes Colin Mahuey. Colin Mahuey's been a man, he hasn't played much football this year, but when he does play football, what a stylish footballer he is. And Tasker with the effort here. It's the outside of the foot, and that is another magnificent score from Robbie Tasker. And while there's been a couple of wides now, some of Robbie Tasker's score taken has been now the absolute top drawer.
I said in the first 5 minutes, Paddy, if you give Tasker space, he can put that over all day, and he's not being tackled. His man's staying 5 yards off him, and he's just turning, looking up and putting it over the bar. Beautiful strikes, I must say it, but he's getting plenty of space, and that takes his tally to 6 for the night. 5 from play too, Paddy, so he's keeping Cullyhanna in this match, it has to be said.
Yes, absolutely, Niall. Without Robbie, I don't know, I try to think where Cullyhanna would be in this game. They're still in with a chance, though these are difficult times, but they've got the grip in midfield. Here comes Barry McConville, he's fisted it, and that's only gone as far as a Ballymacnab man. And here come Ballymacnab again, and they really, I suppose all they need to do from their point of view is Liam O'Hare goes in and tackles. Liam has to be careful because he was awarded a yellow card in the first half, and just from Ballymacnab's point of view now, all they need to do probably, they've got 2-9 already. If they can add on 4 or 5 points in this second half, it'll probably be enough.
Yeah.
With 20 minutes to play, as that ball heads down towards, I think that's Jack Grugan's going for it. Guy McCoo in close attention there. Guy tackles vigorously, but Jack goes on. Jack looks, he's dropped the ball. He has dropped the ball. He's dropped the ball over the end line, and that will be a kick out. Conor Mee will take that for Cullyhanna. And it's a difficult game. It's difficult to say this one's going to play out. You couldn't completely dismiss the hopes of the St Patrick's men at this stage now.
Not at all, Paddy, not at all. If they get a goal, they're right back in this contest, and the way they've started the second half, Jack Newton can expect to have little possession. Conor Need now, they've started to really dominate the break ball stakes too, and just see how they get on this kick out.
And Barry again rose for that, but it's gone to Ballymacnab, man. And here come Ballymacnab. They're about 65 metres from goal, and they're tackled by Stephen Reel. That ball's been head forward again towards Jack Grugan. Jack Grugan's very much the outlet, but Guy McCoo seems to be getting the best of him in the early stage of the second half. Yeah. And that ball's played over to Liam O'Hare. He's dropped very deep. Here comes Liam running along. He's soloing. Very strong player, Liam. And he's looking at him, he certainly fell there, and he really unceremoniously fell. And to be honest, I'm quite surprised the referee hasn't saw fit to have a word with the Ballymacnab there. Absolutely no attempt to clear the ball now.
That's the sort of tackle make Joe Brawley scream there. I thought it was probably a yellow card himself.
That ball's been cleared forward by Kieran McKeever. Malachy Mackin's been shown out. He's been shown out all night. He's played to Casey. Casey with the effort, and that ball has gone over the bar. And Eugene Casey being introduced. He's been such an important player for Cullyhanna all over his career, particularly this year in the early stages of the league. And Eugene Casey might have scored a very important point there. It's Ballymacnab 2-9. It's St Patrick's Cullyhanna 11 points, and it's game on here in the Team at Armagh Senior Championship now.
Yeah, I think that's Eugene's second touch since he's come on. He kicked one wide, but that was a lovely score there with the left foot, and he is a man that knows where the posts are, and if he's found his range, that could be another asset for Jody Gormley's side.
And Sean Hughes now with the kick out for Ballymacnab. That ball's gone up again. Barry McConnell's going to compete for that. He's broken it down again, but Ballymacnab emerge, and they're breaking down the wing, and that ball's been cleared to number 17, Kevin Began down there, and that's with Gary McKee. Gary McKee scored a fantastic point in the first half. He's played it off with Damien McGowan. McGowan assesses his options, fists it in, and that is Rory Grugan, and it looked like it's going wide. But I'll tell you what, it's very, very close. Conor Lee's convinced it went wide. I thought it might have gone wide myself, but the two umpires disagree, and that's a point. And we had a disputed one in the first half. I really thought, now I don't know what your own view was, but it seemed like it was going well wide. It curled in, and the referee's going over, I think maybe to talk to Jody Gormley about that. I don't know what your view was. No, he's talking to his linesman. I wonder, is the linesman going to intervene quite unusually?
I think he may be into cancel this point.
I don't know, what was your view of that one?
I thought it maybe just didn't curl in time myself. Very, very near impossible job for the umpires there, given the height it went and how close it went to the post. The umpire, or the linesman, would have had a better view now. It'll be interesting to see what the referee does here. I got the feeling that there is a chance this point may be cancelled.
Yeah, I mean certainly, the fact that they're talking about this for so long suggests that they're weighing up their options, and they're going to be take action here. Crucial enough decision in the course of the match. And it's wide. The ball has been the point has been struck off, and really, we had a little controversy before the goal. But if Ballymacnab don't go on to make their second county final, now that's a decision that'll be pointed to.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of complaints when Ballymacnab, and that was waved wide there either, which makes me think that maybe they knew themselves that it wasn't a point.
Here's Mickey Murray. Mickey Murray's out the field there. That ball's been pumped towards Pierce Casey, and as the two Casey brothers trying to combine, and somebody couldn't get to their feet there. I think that was Colin Huey, and here comes Began down the line. The ball's been played over. Here's McParland for Dominic McParland, who sort of dropped the ball there. McParland, he's played it over to a teammate. Ballymacnab still, that ball's played over. And absolute oceans of space for Rory Grugan, and he went wide before, but it's gone wide again. On the other side this time, and Ballymacnab missed a couple of points, and really now I suspect had those two balls gone over the bar, if it gone back to 6 points, I'm not sure that I would have seen a way back for Cullyhanna as we head into the final quarter of this match.
3 quick wides in succession from Ballymacnab, 2 from Rory Grugan, 1 from Jack Grugan, and as you see, even if 2 of those had went over, would have been very close to home for the side.
Cullyhanna, they're like a boxer on the ropes here. That certainly, they're losing the rounds, but they haven't quite been dealt the fatal blow yet, and perhaps they can strike back with a knockout of their own as the ball's played there towards, and the keeper will be able to deal with that one. Took him maybe 4 or 5 steps, got rid of it in the end, played over, and Ballymacnab are very, very cool and composure, and if they don't make any vital mistakes now, it's still going to be very, very hard for Cullyhanna to fashion 4 points without reply.
Well,
here comes Damien McGeown. He's over on the terrace side of the pitch. He's played it inside the centre half back, Michael Began. Began transfers it with the fist pass over on the far side of the pitch to us, and Ballymacnab patiently playing here across the midfield. There's number 9 Tony McKee. The midfield was very much on top in the first half. It's been more parity in the second, but here's and Cullyhanna, and it was Kieran McKeever had to reach out. He had to use every single sinew in his body to get a hold of that one. But Cullyhanna break here. Aidan Nugent's in oceans of space, and here comes Aidan Nugent. He got 2 goals in the first round against Whitecross. How badly Cullyhanna need to score, but Nugent's kicked that one wide. He kicked that one wide, and that was very wasteful now.
Very wasteful. They're 5th wide of the half. They've dropped one short. They've had Malachy Mackin's goal effort. They really should be within 2 points here. I see Tony Donnelly coming into the match. No big surprise here. Tony's an excellent player. Just have to see who's making way. Maybe Aidan Nugent. It might be the man that's taken off.
Yes, former captain of the Armagh under-21s, Tony Donnelly enters the fray. And really, yes, as you correctly predicted there, Niall, it's Aidan Nugent who'll be withdrawn. Aidan had a chance to go off with a real bang there, but unfortunately the ball went wide from the Cullyhanna point of view. And we have 12 minutes to play here in the athletic grounds. And, this is it's funny, I suppose we compare the game last night, Niall, across the game with 4 points ahead. You really got the feeling, 3 or 4 or 5 points ahead, you get the feeling that the game was over. You don't quite get that impression this evening.
And you have to think back to Cullyhanna. That's a good spot by the referee.
Yeah, it was, yes. That was a foul by Kieran McKeever. He pushed the man in the back, and here is Michael Began. Began's played it across.
You have to think the
White
Cross game, of course, Paddy, earlier in the season when they looked in a winning position against Cullyhanna, and Cullyhanna finished very strongly to steal it that night, because as you know yourself, they're very poor that evening. So I would never rule Cullyhanna out.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they're facing a much superior team here in Ballymacnab, a team that's been to the county final in 2011. Ballymacnab didn't do themselves justice on that day, and they'll be hoping if they can see off Cullyhanna here that they'll be running Crossmaglen an awful lot closer on the 20th of October in the Teammate Armagh Senior Championship final. Well,
I don't think they can get much further away, to be honest with you, Paddy, but they'll have taken plenty from that final if they do manage to close the deal here.
Well, one of the old cliches is you have to lose one to win one, and Ballymacnab will be hoping that rings true if indeed it is them that go on to face Crossmaglen Rangers. And really, with only 11 minutes to play, Ballymacnab are very much in the driving seat here in the Teammate Armagh Senior Championship semi-final. They're playing very patiently here. It's Michael Began on the ball. Began looking for options. He's played a fist pass and he's released superbly one of us. I think that's perhaps one of the other Begans wearing number 17, and that is a superb effort, and that is a magnificent score. A superb kick from Kevin Began, and it's Ballymacnab 2-10. It's St Patrick's Cullyhanna 11 points. and really the clock is ticking ominously for Cullyhanna as we head towards the last 10 minutes, and really now I suspect that the St Patrick's men need a goal.
They do, and you know, I'm sure Jody Gorney is thinking about bringing Malachy Macken further out because he's not getting on the ball too much the last 5 minutes, but they do need that goal.
It's Tony McKee. Tony McKee's got a hold of that, and I wonder have Ballymacnab weathered the storm, and are they going to be able to see this match out as David McGowan is fouled there. Ballymacnab, they're in no rush to take this free. You can well understand that. You well understand there as number 2 Chris Lochran look to make a run forward there on the far side. A little bit of RG Bargy there, but this will be taken to every Jack Grugan. It's probably within his range. Now Jack Grugan will be taking this on, having a go. No, he's actually played it short. And here's the opportunity now for it's back with Grugan. Can Grugan kick a point? Grugan's had an effort. That ball's hit the outside of the post. It's gone wide, and there's still 5 points between the teams with 10 minutes to play.
From this stage on, Paddy, Cullyhanna can only concede a couple of points if they won't have any chance of winning this, because they really should be closer, but there's still 5 in it, and time's running low, just under 10 minutes left here.
And really, it's that first half that if Cullyhanna do go on to lose. Sean Collins tried to get a hold of that, he wasn't able to, but Tony Donnelly rescued the situation. And here comes Kieran McKeever. If Cullyhanna ever needed McKeever, they need him now. And he's pumped the ball in there. He's pumped it, I think it's towards Tasker. Can Tasker get the ball's been knocked out, and that'll be a 45. But the high ball into Tasker, I'm not sure if that is that's the way to get right. They need to get Robbie into the game, absolutely. Yeah. But perhaps that high, sort of more hopeful ball, though it was one of reasonable quality, but it perhaps wasn't exactly what Robbie's after.
That would have been a perfect ball for Malachy Macken, but for Robbie Tasker, it's never going to really work out. It's interesting, Robbie not taking this 45 here. I thought the way he's been striking the ball, he would have been on it, but maybe it seems to be Kieran McKeever taking it instead.
Yeah, I think maybe Robbie takes him from the other side.
The other side
possibly,
is okay.
As really, Kieran McKeever needs to get this one over for Cullyhanna. They really need to take all their opportunities. There isn't long left here in the athletic grounds. McKeever has kicked that. I think that's gone wide. Yes, it has. And there are only 8.5 minutes to play. And really, Cullyhanna are in serious trouble. Yeah. And it looks like it's going to be Ballymacnab versus Crossmaglen. It looks like it's going to be a repeat of the 2011 championship final. It was that particular match was a damn squib, but Ballymacnab will be hoping that they can run them an awful lot closer. Perhaps Cullyhanna can get back. There was all this debate, not amongst the players, not amongst anybody closely associated with the club, but people were talking about the possibility of a Cullyhanna Crossmaglen final local derby that would ensue there, but it looks very much like Ballymacnab are going to spoil that particular party because they're 5 points clear and they hold all the aces here in the Armagh Senior Championship now.
And Colin High seems to be moving very gingerly there for Cullyhanna too. He's had a bit of an injury nightmare over the last few months, and if he has to go off injured again, that'll just be another blow for them here.
Yeah, well, he's not fit. I suppose I have sympathy with Jody's position. He had to do something. Cullyhanna in serious trouble.
But I tell you what, it was a superb
tackle from Colin Huey. Yeah. And he claps at his teammates. He's trying to raise the Cullyhanna performance, to inspire his teammates. That was an inspirational tackle. And here come Cullyhanna. That ball's been booted forward by Stephen Reel. Bit of a challenge off the ball there. As here comes Liam O'Hare. And Cullyhanna advance. And here's Tasker. And here's the opportunity. And to the back of the net! And Tasker has scored! And Cullyhanna are back in it! Robbie Tasker, Liam O'Hare, the ball was played in long by Stephen Reel. Liam O'Hare got it. You just knew when O'Hare had it that there was an opportunity of a goal. He played to the right man, and what a strike that was from Robbie Tasker. And do we have a Lazarus-like recovery here in the cards for Cullyhanna and Mackay?
Well, obviously we can't see replays. I thought maybe Sean Hughes will be disappointed that he didn't get a hand at that, but Tasker is just he's single-handedly pulling Cullyhanna back into this match.
Would you believe now that nobody has scored in the second half for Cullyhanna but Robbie Tasker? It's in 1-3 from the mercurial talent, and here comes Colin Huey. We talked about him being injured earlier. He doesn't look too injured now. Here's Casey. Casey needs to find the teammates. Has he been fouled? It looked like there was some strong tackles. He possibly had him. I think that was a throw. Yes, it was a throw, and that's going to be a Ballymacnab 3 with 6 minutes to play. I think it's probably crucial on St Patrick's point of view, Niall, that they keep their composure. There's only 2 points in this game. There's still 6 minutes left, and they can't stay in this game. They only need a couple of points. They need to take their opportunities. And Kieran McKeever, Barry McConville now tackling. Here come Ballymacnab. they're heading down there. It's Grugan again. Rory Grugan, and Rory Grugan's been he's fouled the ball. Jody Grundy's on the field there. I don't think Jody was a great player in his time, but I don't think he's going to be able to take this free kick for them. Played for shown in the All-Ireland final in 1995, of course. Here come Cullyhanna. Kieran kicks it. Kieran's kicked it down. It's dropping. And Tasker, and it's been blocked. And I'm sure that Ballymacnab hearts are in their mouth there as Robbie Tasker advanced towards goal, but they got the tackle in, and there's 5.5 minutes to go here in the athletic grounds. And can Cullyhanna get back into this game? We have a rip-roaring finish in store here, Niall McCoy.
Well, if Robbie puts this over the bar, or maybe Pierce Casey taking it, is he? If they put this over the bar, there's a point between the sides of Masonry and plenty of time to get the equaliser.
They did it. They came from nowhere against Whitecross. Can they do the same against Ballymacnab? And Cullyhanna have been the better team in the second half, no doubt. But it's the Ballymacnab's real start that. That has helped them out here, and it's provided the advantage. Ballymacnab are still the favourites, there's no doubt about it. But that position may switch around a little if Pierce Casey can kick this over. I don't think Cullyhanna scored down their 45s here tonight. Can Casey change that? And that is a wonderful strike from Pierce Casey, and Cullyhanna are right back in this. We have 4.5 minutes to go, and they're back within the minimum deficit here. It's Ballymacnab round Towers 210, St Patrick's, Cullyhanna 112, and Cullyhanna, they've lost so many semi-finals. This is the 8th senior championship semi-final. They've never ever won one, and they're certainly not in a winning position as yet, but the dream is still alive now.
Well, it just has to be said, as a neutral here, we've had a championship with a lot of one-sided games and a lot of damn scoops. This is an excellent game of football, and then two young forwards in Jack Grugan and Rory and Robbie Tasker. I think they have 3-10 between them, 3-7 from play. It's really what the championship needed here.
By McConville rose there, and that's as far as Liam O'Hare, and it's all Cullyhanna at this stage. It's still McConville's busted it. That's towards Eugene Casey. Can he recycle? Eugene Casey's, and it's level in the team at Armagh Senior Championship. Eugene Casey's done it, and it's all Cullyhanna here at 26 minutes played. McConville was on the ball. It was a great best pass. He found Casey. Casey turned, he had options, but he fired it over the bar, and it's all level. It's St Patrick's, Cullyhanna 113. It's 2-10 to Ballymacnab, and at this stage, Ballymacnab are trying to slow the game down. Number 25, I think that's Dwayne McBurn. He's going to come on for Ballymacnab now, and you just couldn't call it, but the momentum is with the Cullyhanna men now.
Paddy, you sound like you're enjoying this.
Well, I wouldn't want to. You said there, Niall, that you clarified in one of your comments. You said as a neutral. I hope that wasn't a barb. But I would have no difficulty in suggesting that Ballymacnab much the better team in the first half. If they were to go on to win this game, they'd be receiving the best wishes from myself, and I'm sure from anybody else from Cullyhanna. But I suppose at this stage in the championship games, sometimes your emotions get the better of them. I hope that hasn't been too obvious to make perhaps the last 5 minutes to let myself go. But here come Cullyhanna again. I apologise to Ballymacnab people that are watching it here, and Pierce Casey is what's the referee going to do? I'm not sure. He's giving the free to Ballymacnab. He's giving the free, and I suppose the Ballymacnab did very well to surround Pierce there, and they played it forward. Michael Began's played it forward, and here come and Mickey Murray got a hold of that, but it's Cullyhanna again, and it's played up. Here's Mickey Murray. Cullyhanna still emerged. Can O'Hare get a hold of it? Was O'Hare actually, it probably could have been a free to Ballymacnab there, but that's ball, and that's been cut out, but it's gone loose. Guy McCooey heads towards the ball. He's played it out here to Colin Huey. Guy McCooey hits the ground, and the ball's gone on here. I think that's Casey, and here come Cullyhanna. That's a very, very high challenge there. I'm sure that'll be a yellow card.
It will be a yellow card, but they've missed a lot of chances in the second half. But Cullyhanna have been like animals in this second period. They've been tackling like demons. They deserve to be level, Paddy, to be honest. On looking at the match as a whole, they've been by far the better side in the second half. And if I had been a bit of composure in front of the post, they probably would have been 2 or 3 points ahead.
Colin Stevenson, he says, I wouldn't quite be up to date with the cool kids on Twitter. He says he's LMAO at Paddy's commentating. I'm not quite sure, and in fact, I have an inkling as to what that means, and it's certainly not something that I would suggest that you interpret for us on Armagh TV. But more importantly, we have a substitution here for Ballymacnab now. Perhaps you can fill us in on that.
Yeah, Dominic McParland's way off. I'm not actually quite sure who came on. I didn't see who came on, to be honest. Sean McCardle, number 23, has come on. Is Barry McConville coming off? No, he's just getting a few words of advice from Jody Gormley by the looks of it. But Sean McCardle on for Ballymacnab in place of Dominic McParland.
But now, from a neutral point of view, what an entertaining second half. And indeed, first half, a real classic game in the Armagh, and some of the senior championship needed.
It did.
Surely Pierce was fouled there.
Yeah, the referee called it. He's right.
The referee gave it. Pearson actually lost the ball. It was a silly foul as Kieran McKeever tries to rouse the players. He tries to inspire them. It'll be McKeever here, and really I would suggest now with 2 minutes to play, with 1 minute of normal time left, with 2 minutes injury time, it's probably again that neither team perhaps deserve to lose. But that's not the way. Here comes Eugene Casey. Won't say it like that. He goes forward. It's still Casey. Can he get another one? Was he fouled?
Yep.
The referee says he was. He says that Eugene Casey was fouled, and it'll be a free now. And what an important kick this will be for Cullyhanna. Eugene Casey, he swung the foot back. And the defender got in. It was a difficult one to call now.
It was the right decision, but it was an honest effort to block the ball, and it just caught Eugene's leg, and he actually looks like he's hurt a wee bit here. It's one of them sore ones, although he's back up now. It'll be Robbie Tasker, I expect, that'll be going to kick this point, which will be going for bring his tally to 1-7 if he puts it over 1-5 from play, which is a fantastic return. That's if he puts it over the bar, Paddy, because this could be the match winning kick.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's, I suppose is the fact momentum's with Cullyhanna. I'm not sure how long is it. I mean, Ballymacnab have actually only got 1 point in the second half.
Kevin Began's point there was their last score, which was I'm not quite sure what minute, but since then it's been completely one-way traffic. But Ballymacnab, and amazingly, would be take your hand off for a draw at this stage.
Yeah, and here's Robbie Tasker. What a crucial kick this is. We've played 30 seconds of injury time, and Robbie Tasker to the light of the Cullyhanna followers. Tasker salutes those, and it's Cullyhanna who lead here by a point as Mal Mackin goes to the ball. Mal's kicked it away, can probably do without with that. I'm sure the referee's going to add on that particular amount of time. But what a story we have here. Lazarus rose from the dead in the Bible, and Cullyhanna are doing it here in the Team at Armagh Senior Championship. It's 1-14 to St Patrick's, it's 2-10 to Ballymacnab, and we've got a superb game here, and it will be, if this finishes the final score now, it'll be so tough in the Ballymacnab lads who were superb in the first half, and the ball's been kicked out. Possession is key here, and O'Hare has it again. But he's a tackle in. He's shot the tackle. Began was hauled to the ground. Began was hauled. It was a rough tackle now. And the referee's going to have to deal with it. I suppose excitement gets the better. Excitement gets the better of players at this stage. We've played 31 minutes, and the referee is trying to.
This could be. I would imagine it'll be a yellow card. Paddy, it's very high. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, it was cynical. There's no doubt it was cynical now.
Yeah, he just needs to hope that the referee doesn't get too harsh in here and give him a red card.
He wasn't going, I don't think, to hurt the player. He was going simply to stop him, to haul him down. It was, as you say, it's the sort of thing that would make Joe Brawley, and as he had a card from Kieran McKeever.
Ballymacnab crowd don't like that, but I think it's probably just about the right decision.
You suggested your interpretation was that was the right call. I won't, for fear, though, that was a very short kick for fear being accused of bias. I won't give my own suggestion, but here come Ballymacnab. They're trying to get a draw that in truth their efforts probably merits, but here's that man Casey again. Eugene, he's hit it. It's all over. It's all over here in the athletic grounds, and Cullyhanna have done it. They've done it. They were 7 points down at half time. They were written off. You couldn't believe they wrote them off myself. You could not have believed that they were going to come back and win this match, but they have done it. They have come from nowhere. Robbie Tasker, I think he got 1-5 in the second half. It was absolutely unbelievable. It was Eugene Casey introduced at half time. He got the winning point, and look at the delight there from Kieran McKeever and the other Cullyhanna players, and this is absolutely wonderful for Cullyhanna. Niall McCoy, you have to feel for Ballymacnab. They're absolutely devastated there, and you have to feel for them. They look like they had that game sewn up, and you have to feel so sorry for the Ballymacnab men.
They looked in a winning position, but in their 125th year, Cullyhanna have reached their first ever senior final. A great year to do it in, but again, as I've said after every match to play this year, if they want to have any chance of troubling Crossmaglen, they're going to have to raise their game something serious, because for the first half of that match they were terrible, and Jody Gormley will know that, the whole team will know that, Paddy McCreesh, the captain, will know that. They really need their upper game to want to have any chance of troubling the Rangers, but they got there in the end. That point that maybe the linesman gave, the umpire gives the point, the linesman overruled him, that proved crucial in the end. I don't think it was the wrong decision myself, Paddy, to be honest with you. It looked like it was a wide to me, but I see Paul Grimley there walking down the stand. He could not have been anything but impressed with Robbie Tasker tonight, because without Tasker, Cullyhanna would be exiting the championship this evening.
Yes, well, Paul Grimley, the current Armagh manager, one former Armagh manager, Joe Kiernan, he won't have been worried at all by what he saw from Cullyhanna there. Crossmaglen, they must be the most raging hot favourites for the Tmet Armagh Senior Championship final. They'll be expected to win the game comfortably, I would say, but I think it's worthwhile. You talked about 125 years of the GAA in Cullyhanna. I know that they're having a gala ball in Cullyhanna on the 2nd of November, and they would love to have a special guest there. They'd love to have the Jerry Fagan Cup. Well, they'll be able to do it, but I think the important thing is that 125 years of the Armagh of GAA in Cullyhanna, they have never been in an Armagh Senior Championship semi-final. They lost a semi-final in 72 to Clans, 74 Clonagale. They lost to Clonagale twice in the 90s, 94, 96. In 98 it was third division Team Madden that broke Cullyhanna hearts. In 2010 it was Crossmaglen Rangers beat them by a point in a replay. In 2012 it was Pierce Oaks who beat them by 10 points. But in 2013 things have changed, and it's St Patrick's who have made that elusive first Armagh Senior final. And what a day that will be for the Gaels of Cullyhanna, and our commiserations to Ballymacnab. Well, what a night it has been for St Patrick's. What a game, what tremendous excitement, what absolute joy for the Cullyhanna men. There are people out there on the pitch waving flags. I'm sure plenty more flags in Cullyhanna over the next few weeks, and what a build up they'll have. And I think, folks, that just about wraps up our commentary here on Armagh TV. What a night it's been, and the gallant Ballymacnab team head off. They've been defeated. They've been defeated, but on their heads unbowed. They can be proud of their performance, but they were just met by what was a hurricane of a Cullyhanna side in the final quarter. And just, folks, thank you all for joining us on Armagh TV tonight. It's been a wonderful occasion. And of course, join us again on Sunday at 2 p.m. We have the Division 2 Minor Championship semi-final, or final rather, between, I'm caught up with semi-finals here, between St Paul's and Crossmaglen. At 4 p.m. we have Tiernan versus Madden. Please join us for that. And hopefully, if the intermediate final tomorrow is half as good as this match was tonight, it'll be some affair. And so, just on that note, I'd like to thank you all for being with us. Slán Liva Harja, Ardwaha TV.